Ole Miss travels to Athens, Georgia, where Georgia is favored by 6 and a hook.
College game day is coming. Everybody's coming. And after last week, I'm sure we're not going to hear the end of the Georgia controversy after the Auburn game. Ole Miss comes in number 5 in the country, undefeated, scoring lots of points off a beatdown of Georgia last year in Oxford. And I said before the Georgia-Auburn game, I said, for me to feel comfortable with Georgia, I was going to need Georgia to score at least 30 points against Auburn. They didn't do that. And
No.
This game scares me a lot. This game scared me a lot on the schedule anyway, because Ole Miss last year, out of any game, was the one team that really dominated Georgia last year. That Georgia got a pick on the opening drive and got a touchdown, and then did nothing the rest of the way. The score wasn't a blowout, crazy. It was whatever it was, 27-10 or whatever it was, but it was not that close. Even when Georgia had knocked Jackson Dart out of the game and Austin Simmons came in and played, he looked great. Now, Austin Simmons is the backup because Trinidad Chambliss looks great. And
He does.
And Ole Miss can score, and they score, and they score, and they score, and their defense is not bad either.
I don't know who else can score. Them Georgia Bulldogs.
When you look at
in the second half, but you look at points per game. Ole Miss has 38.6, and Georgia at 39.3 yards per game. Ole Miss 478.9, Georgia 493. Penalties. This is an interesting one. Ole Miss is averaging almost 74 yards per game in penalties, where Georgia's only averaging 44.
Yeah. Georgia has been a much more disciplined team this year, other than PI calls. But yeah, like I said, I needed Georgia to score last week against Auburn. I needed the offense to look good against a tough defense. And yes, they kind of got it going after, with 2 minutes left in the first half, they'd done nothing, and they outscored Auburn 20-0 after that point. But the inconsistency as an offense and the total lack of defense in the first quarters of games the last few weeks scares me. It scares me that Ole Miss is a team that could start scoring fast and you couldn't keep up with. Georgia was able to do it against Tennessee, and they were able to weather the storm against Alabama and Auburn. But I don't know if you can do that against Ole Miss when they're clicking.
Yeah, and one stat that scares me is Ole Miss is converting third downs at 50% rate.
And we know Georgia's not good at that.
Yeah. And yeah, so that percentage is probably going to go up this weekend. Maybe they hit 60%.
Yeah. Now, Ole Miss struggled with Washington State this last week, but their players and even Kiffin kind of admitted they were working on Georgia. So if they were working on Georgia, they treated this Washington State week kind of like a bye week. And it almost made them pay, but it didn't. So if you're asking me what happens when they come to Athens on Saturday, I just don't have the confidence right now in Georgia that we can slow their offense down. Now, I don't think that it's going to be a blowout. Actually, I think it's going to be a lot closer game than it was last year. But if you're asking me right now to make a pick, I said I needed 30 against Auburn, and we didn't get it. So right now today, I think for the first time all season, I'm picking against Georgia. I'm going to take Ole Miss 31, Georgia 24.
I am honestly not shocked. I was while I was in my emotional state after the Georgia game, after the Auburn game, Georgia-Auburn, I was like, man, there's no way we're going to beat Ole Miss. And it was like, we're going to lose all the rest of our games. But as we've talked it out over the past couple days, and we've dug into the stats and we've looked into everything, I have a lot more confidence in Georgia because we know what they can do once they get settled in. The offense has been really consistent all season long. The only thing that broke in terms of consistency this past weekend was the running game. Georgia couldn't run the ball worth a damn against Auburn, and I think that's just a credit to Auburn's defense, frankly, because it's a really good defense. It is a little concerning that Georgia couldn't run the ball, but they made up for it with short passes and Gunner Stockton. And on the defensive side, we've seen Georgia just second half flip a switch and absolutely shut teams down. Good teams. So I think, I mean, I can't come out and say that I think Georgia's going to start fast and hold Ole Miss, in the first quarter, first half. But I think they will keep them in striking distance, and then Georgia actually will win and pull away at the end. So give me Georgia 30, Ole Miss 24.
All right. We shall see.
Indeed. If you love college football, like and subscribe to this channel and hit us up. Leave us comments. Let us know what you think, what your picks are for this weekend, and how crazy are ours. Like, tell us where we're wrong. Leave us all in the comments, and hit us up on the socials: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at Nitro CFB. And we will be back, or I will be back on Saturday after the Georgia game for our weekly Dawgs post game.
I will be in the woods.
It was awesome having you on the show this past weekend. I think it was like our best show, honestly.
Yeah. I won't be there this weekend. I said this on the other show. I'm camping this weekend with my son, so I will be in the woods in North Georgia. So bring the victory home, Burl, for the Dawgs. But
you should join from your phone by the campfire and be really creepy.
Yeah. That would be strange.
Stranger Things.
But yeah, like I said, if you like the show, please subscribe. It really helps us out. Enjoy the college football this weekend. But until next week, I'm Streit.
I'm Burl.
Go Dawgs.
Go Dawgs.